6:49, this is your morning in 8 minutes. District Attorney Shar Mallon says she is standing firm on her decision not to charge the officers involved in Lisa Edwards' death.
Yeah, Allen says that's based on the medical examiner's findings. KPD officers arrested her for trespassing at Fort Sanders Medical Center after she refused to leave when the hospital discharged her. She later became unresponsive in the back of a KPD cruiser and died the next day from a stroke. The body cam footage from the incident has sparked some outrage in the community about how the officers handled the situation. District Attorney Allen says she does not condone how those officers behaved. She says they showed a lack of compassion and a lack of respect. The family says they are working with counsel right now on a possible lawsuit. And the 4 KPD employees involved are still on paid leave while an internal investigation continues. In a statement, Chief Paul Noel says, quote, "I was disturbed and embarrassed by what I saw in the video. My expectation is that our officers treat every person they encounter, regardless of the context or situation, with respect, dignity, and basic decency." The chief goes on to say we should also take pride in helping those who need it.
Right now, officials say an operation to stop drug traffickers between Detroit and East Tennessee seems to be working. Since the 313 initiative started back in December by the TBI, 60 arrests have been made. Detroit is used as a hub for criminals looking to send drugs to areas like West Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee. The initiative hopes to stop that pipeline. And we now know the names of the 2 people killed in an early morning wreck on I-40 West at Midway Road on Monday. Officials say Randall Ball and Letitia Beck, both from East Tennessee, were killed when a truck crossed over the median and crashed into their SUV. KPD is still investigating the deadly crash. Right now, the man charged with killing 3 Kentucky police officers and hurting several others is dead.
Officials say Lance Storrs was found dead in a jail cell for an apparent suicide. Officials in Pike County are now investigating his death. He was being held in the Pike County Detention Center on 3 murder charges. He was accused of opening fire on police officers in June when they arrived at his Floyd County home after reports he was holding his wife hostage for days. Investigators say Storrs ambushed the officers as they walked up to the door.
Happening today, one of the men who founded the Waldens Creek Volunteer Fire Department will be laid to rest. Danny Fox passed away at 72 years old on Saturday. He founded the department back in 1977. Fox will be buried later today in Sevierville. His number 904 will be retired by the department. Also today, if you're looking to visit the Great Smoky Mountains National Park, you will need a parking pass. Daily, weekly, and annual passes are available online right now. Daily passes are $5, weekly passes will cost you $15, and annual passes are $40. We have a link to buy one right now on the WVLT News App.
And the Discovery Campus in West Knoxville, just off I-40, will soon have a new owner. Tennessee-based Apex Bank plans to move its headquarters here. The 32-acre property was previously the headquarters for Scripps Networks. The deal is expected to be done at the end of the month. And if you have a Nissan Rogue, heads up, but you need to be aware of an important factory recall. The car maker is recalling more than 800,000 Rogue and Rogue Sport compact SUVs. They say they can shut off accidentally while driving. The recall is for Rogues made between 2016 and 2020 and Rogue Sports between 2017 and 2022. Nissan says it does not currently have a solution to the problem, but they're advising you to avoid attaching anything to your key that might weigh it down when it's in the ignition.
Supreme Court justices heard arguments yesterday on the legality of President Joe Biden's proposed student loan forgiveness plan. The conservative members of the court had questions about the president's ability to sidestep Congress in forgiving the loans. The government argued the 2003 HEROES Act gives the Secretary of Education the power to waive any provision of the student loan program in a national emergency. The court is expected to issue a ruling in the case sometime early this summer. And today, the White House Foreign Affairs Committee is expected to vote on a bill that would give the president the power to ban the popular app TikTok and other apps. If it passes the committee, the measure would go to the full House for a vote. This comes after the White House announced TikTok must be removed from all federal devices in the next 30 days, a move that was criticized by the Chinese government. Some Democrats have criticized the House GOP bill as too broad. Today, the jury in the Alec Murdaugh trial is expected to visit Moselle, Murdaugh's property where his wife and son were shot and killed. The prosecution and defense in the double murder trial have rested. After the jury visits the property, closing arguments will begin. Murdaugh faces 30 years to life in prison if convicted of murdering his wife and son.
WVLT is proud to be your official station of the Vols. The Vols getting a big win last night against Arkansas. Tennessee cruising past the Razorbacks on senior night, 75-57. Olivier Nkamwa led the way with 16 points on the night. Despite the win, Tennessee now must move forward without fan favorite point guard Zakai Ziegler. Early in the game, Ziegler passed the ball below the basket, came down awkwardly with what appears to be a knee injury. He was helped off the court, did not return. Coach Rick Barnes says Zakai will be evaluated today.
6:55 now, getting a look at your first alert traffic, taking a live look now right at Alcoa Highway on I-40. Looking pretty quiet still ahead of that morning rush. That's always some good news as you're moving, especially through those hot spots around Knoxville on I-40 West, 640 West, and 75 southbound. Right now, we're not following any incidents requiring an alternate route as you get out the door on this Wednesday morning. You're on time.
Your first alert forecast with Chief Meteorologist Heather Haley.
6:55 now with just a couple of clouds trickling in, a light breeze in spots. That's giving us some variation in those morning lows. There's a little cooler northeast, like 37 Sneedville, 36 La Follette, and then choppy really right at 40 to mid 40s throughout the valley, like 40 Pigeon Forge to 48 Knoxville, but then 55 in Crossville. Get a little more wind, a few clouds like that. There's the start of that colorful sunrise I promised you over the next 10 minutes. It's just going to keep getting better. In case you want to step outside and get some fresh air, maybe enjoy that little bit of just that light chill in the air with these scattered clouds. We'll keep it looking more partly cloudy through midday, becoming mostly cloudy at times this afternoon, but still warm at 76. A little breezy though, and that's what helps to pump that warmth in before rain returns. So it's really just some spotty showers by the afternoon and evening, and then that widespread heavy rain tonight. Check out this rain forecast where you live. 1.5 inches to some 2 inches moving across the south to Central Valley. These little red dots here, it's a spike up to about 2.5. You can see that in parts of our area, but then it is closer to 1/2 inch to 1 inch along the plateau to the Tennessee-Kentucky line, that 1.5 inches reaching up into far northeast Tennessee. That's just tonight's rain. The first alert weather day is on Friday. That's because those storms could be more damaging. That's when we'll have gusts of 50+ miles per hour, and that is the cold front. So I've got a lot to track for you coming up on the CW.
Heather, thanks. It is 6:56. We're headed over to the CW Knoxville. We hope you have a good Wednesday.